Alright, so in this video we're going to go over both the unit resources and also the assessment items for this unit. And we'll start with the unit resources. As you can see on your screens, the prescribed text for this unit is by Hill and Hult. It's a 2019 edition, the 12th edition of the textbook International Business Competing in the Global Marketplace. This is the latest edition of this textbook. People often ask, do you need the latest version? My general response to that is it is certainly most helpful for you guys to have that latest edition. I say that because a lot of the cases and the activities that we will undertake in this unit are based on different cases, activities, and page numbers that are specific to the latest edition. So while the content will be similar across previous editions of that textbook, especially the 11th edition, which we'd used in previous years, it's going to be easiest for you if you're able to gain a copy of that latest edition. To buy a copy, you can of course buy the hard version, the hardcover version of that from the university bookstore. You can also buy the ebook version. We've posted a link on the Moodle site where you can access that. It's much cheaper than the hardcover version. It obviously means you don't have to lug a heavy textbook around. So do have a look at that option. What I can tell you is you will need access to the textbook, certainly during your classes and also as preparation for your assessments. To this end, we also provide a reading list, which you will find is also quite helpful, especially for your assignments. We've posted a link up on the Moodle site where you can gain access to a number of additional sources that will certainly supplement your understanding of each week's topic, but as I mentioned, will be especially useful when it comes time to obtaining and utilizing additional helpful and relevant, most importantly of all, sources that we require for you to use in your various assignments, which we'll cover on the following slide. As a general minimum expectation for this unit, we're looking for you guys to at least look at the online content and the relevant readings, especially for the textbook, each week prior to the workshop. And we'll talk about why this is especially important on the following slide. What we do tend to find, though, is that every semester we do get some students who failed the unit, largely due to their own personal failure to complete the weekly readings. This unit isn't rocket science. It's some of the concepts can be a little bit dense and potentially sort of take a bit of time to work through, but most of the people who do not do well in this do so largely because they do not prepare themselves as best they should. And as this is especially important given some of the assessments that we've got coming up, and we'll describe those in a minute. So each of the readings that we have selected for you were purposefully chosen because we have determined them to be relevant and helpful, not only in understanding each week's content, but also, as I say, especially for those assessments. So the better you understand these, not only the more you will get out of the workshops, but also the easier you will find the assessments to be. All right, let's go through the all-important assessment items. There are 3 for this unit, the first of which begins in week 2, so you do need to be getting into the things fairly quickly here. These, I'm referring here to the in-class quizzes, which in combination account for 20% of the total mark for this unit. They are to be held at the beginning of each week's class from weeks 2 all the way through to week 11, so 10 weeks in total. Each of those in effect is worth 2% of your mark, so 10 times 2 is the 20%. Each week you'll be given, in that, as part of that quiz, you'll see 10 multiple choice questions and you'll be given 10 minutes to complete that quiz. Now the good news here, it is in effect an open book quiz, and by that I mean we actually allow and encourage you guys to bring notes that you can refer to in the quiz. Now this seems like a pretty good deal, right? We literally say you can give yourself and write notes that will provide you with the answers to the quiz. But there is a bit of a caveat here. Number one, you are not allowed to refer to any materials, and in particular what we do permit is either handwritten or typed notes. Now this can be on a Word document, it can be on your notepad that you have in front of you, it can even be over the top of the lecture slides. However you want to do it is totally fine, but we do require those and not the textbook or the videos or other materials. The reason why we ask for this is because by taking notes and jotting down things, this will hopefully give you a better understanding of the content before you come to the workshop, rather than just having to learn it all for the first time as you go through the quiz. I can also tell you that given that there is the 10-minute time limit for each quiz, you simply won't have enough time to go through and search through the videos in the textbook to find your answers. So developing and preparing those notes before the workshop is going to be really crucial to doing well here. And really, I think it is eminently achievable to be getting 20 out of 20 here, given that you literally can prepare the answers and have access to them in the form of your notes as you undertake each quiz. The second piece of assessment here is a group video presentation, which is worth 30%. It's due on the Thursday of week 7, so just before the mid-semester break, and it will be developed in groups of 4 to 5 students, ideally 5, but potentially with a bit of flexibility there. Each group will be required to create, in effect, a country profile video presentation. So it's a little bit different to your standard stand up in front of the class presentation. It gives you a bit of flexibility, creativity, and autonomy over how you would like to present this particular assessment. It's also especially helpful if you're one of those people who gets a little bit nervous when you have to present in front of the class. You can take as many takes as you want here, so you've got that freedom here as well. The video itself is to be roughly 20 minutes long, and groups will be assigned in the week 2 workshop. So what that means is that if you do not have a group assigned by week 3, you do run the risk of receiving a 0 for this assessment. So as well as being obviously very important to attend and complete your quizzes in class in week 2, being there by the second week is super important to ensure that you are assigned a group and can complete a high quality video presentation. The final assessment is that 50% individual report. So it's the big one here, due on Sunday the 2nd of June at 11:55 p.m. So literally the Sunday of week 12, the end of semester there. It's to be 2,500 words in length and will be based around 3 questions that are outlined in the unit guide. Of course, the report format is required here. If you're not familiar with what that constitutes, the Q manual will be really helpful here as well. But certainly we'll give you a lot of guidance both in the coming weeks in class and also as the semester progresses.